Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Today I want to talk about shortages in the archery industry. At the moment with COVID, there's been a lot of shortages. There's been a massive amount of demand in the archery industry for bows and arrows for various reasons. To start off with, there was the whole thing that we're going to need these things and let's buy up. And that still exists in the outdoor industry at large, that being push bikes, camping, fishing gear, has all boomed in sales because people are looking for activities to do outdoors. Archery right now is booming in the whole outdoors recreational activity marketplace. So at the moment, most archery clubs have got queues of about 6 months waiting to get into a beginner's course. Lots of people are just buying gear to shoot in their backyard, so they've got activities to do because like gyms, a lot of your sporting activities are being put on delay. If you want to go to the gym and do group activities, we need to have a mask on and people are not sort of doing that. So archery has become big because you can get outdoors, get fit, and you don't have those sorts of limitations put on you. You can do it in your backyard and get fit. So archery is booming. There's also been lots of money pumped into the economy. So lots of people have got money, so they're buying archery gear as one of the things. Or it could be they're not taking holidays, but they're spending on the leisure activities, and archery being one of them. Now this has created, this and delays in the manufacturing process has created massive shortages. So at the moment, let's say your workplace, let's say your PSE, you might have someone with COVID, it shuts down the whole area. Or you might have people away with COVID, or you've actually got to change the way in which you manufacture to split up people so they're not working so close, so there's a gap between them. So I know in PSE's instance they had to buy another factory to actually house the shipping of their products. So it created massive delays in the supply of the products. Now I know one of my friends actually closed his archery business because of COVID. It was hard to get staff to come to work, there was massive delays, there was increased costs, so he just closed it down. Now, the massive delays, let's just talk about the delays. So companies like Axel, so I normally stock all the Axel target sights, the EXPs in every single color, and let's say I'd sell one every 2 weeks. Well, at the moment, I have none in stock. The wait time, I would say, would be in excess of 6 months. And right now, I'm just trying to buy them from anywhere, and I mean anywhere. At the moment, they're sold out in Europe, they're sold out in America, and pretty much nobody has any. So if you can find an XL EXP target sight in a retail shop, I'd be extremely surprised. And it would probably mean they're not advertising online because you just can't find them. Now this is going to create an increase on prices, because before with Axel or a product like that, retailers would have to compete. So they'd have to be, well, I'm selling mine for 400, so I will have to undercut the other person by 390, and the other person will undercut a person by 360. And basically everyone ends up not making much money, but it's kind of okay because you can get the product. Right now, if you get an XL sight in stock, you're probably guaranteed to sell it within a week. So regardless of what price you put on it. So this is going to cause prices are going to increase in the archery industry as a result also. Spot hog, you're looking at about 6 months delay in getting products. Many of the bow companies are running out about 6 months. Now some companies are not too bad. So at the moment PSE is not too bad, Elite's not too bad, but there are still shortages. Like PSE is not making old parts at the moment. They're just trying to keep up with current items in stock. So it depends on the product, but well, TrueFire is just is it going to be a year until you see more of them? My TrueFire shipment, which was all the targets, I know TrueFire no longer has anything in stock. So we got a 20-foot container in of them. We've got them in stock, but after that, they had none in stock. So literally they're supplying for the demand that they have. So which companies are stocking okay? AEE seems to be stocking okay. Scott, which is part of the Elite group, seems to be okay. did have delays. It was about 6 months. Seems to be back in stock at the moment. Bear actually seems to be shipping pretty good at the moment. But Chinese manufacturers are also massive delays. So Fastgo targets, which you think, well, no one's going to order Fastgo targets made from Vietnam. Like, it's just a matter of pushing these things out. 6 month delay of getting them. So literally I'm sold out and you can't get any more for 6 months. But then they've got to jump on a ship, which is going to be another 2 to 3 months to get them in. So massive delays. I would say all the arrow manufacturers are having delays across the board. So at the moment, it's just a matter of ordering, and then eventually you'll get dribs and drabs sort of come in, and it's very much dribs and drabs. You don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be a bit of this, a bit of that, but it might not be. It might not be the points. It might be just one type of arrow shaft. So it's very, very hard. It puts lots of pressure on the staff. Because people are like, well, when's stuff going to be delivered? And they're like, well, we don't know, that we can't get any delivery sometimes. And then you get surprised. So sometimes you think, well, it's going to be 6 months, and next minute it arrives the next day. So like I got yesterday a shipment from PSE, just purely the new PSE Supras, but no other PSEs in that lineup. So it must have been PSE was just making Supras that week. I don't know. It was the case before that PSE would make a whole series of different bows, but I've got a feeling now they're actually knocking out one type of bow, pumping them out, and because that's the way they seem to be shipping to me. I seem to get batches of drives, batches of stingers, batches of Supras, batch of EVL 32s in left-handed, a batch in right-handed. They seem to be coming in batches. So it's a bit hit and miss. So I'm just looking around the shop at the holes I have in stock. CVE is pretty good, which is part of the Scott family. Now, as I said, a lot of the Chinese companies are also having massive delays, and also there's massive delays in shipping. So the reason for the massive delays in shipping, if someone gets sick at the place where they're shipping, it puts out that workplace. So the whole workplace is shut out for 2 weeks. So there's a shortage of staff, the virus goes through, or false alert goes through, and it literally shuts it down. Now this has put massive prices on freight. So freight has almost tripled in price. So let's just put that in perspective. So my freight for archery companies might be 10% to get freight into Australia. So it's now going to be 30% to get freight into Australia. So it's going to be, my wholesale margin is 10%. So you're going to see, at the moment, it costs me more to get stuff into Australia than I'm selling it for. So it's a bit kind of funny, but at the moment, if you can actually buy the stuff, you're buying it for less than the people are probably buying it for next time around, because of the freight costs are through the roof. Now, there's some companies who don't have delays. I ordered a container of targets from Bulldog in Canada. They were fully in stock within 1 week. So within 1 week, they were ready to ship. So that was cool. But I would say across the board, Ultra View, shipping really, really fast. Really fast, like within 7 days you get to see it. A lot of your European countries, German Biter is shipping really fast. Yuka, Gillo, those companies seem to be not having the same sort of problems. I'm not sure why that is, but they don't seem to have the same sorts of issues. They seem to be shipping. In fact, I don't think shipping cost seems to be too bad from Europe. I mean, containers have tripled and doubled, more than tripled, but the air freight I think's been okay, so I've got to just check that. But this is all new, so the cost of freight has only just started increasing in the last few months. It's really gone through the roof. So that's just a bit of enough background on expect shortages and how do I think the shortages are going to go in the industry. I think this is going to create massive pressures on shops. And when I say massive pressures, because let's just say you can't get stock, It's very hard to sell stock. It's going to put more pressures. It's going to put pressures on the wholesalers because they're not going to be able to get the stock they need to supply the retailers. And it puts massive pressures on the small retailer because the small retailer doesn't stock much product and they can't source it from the wholesaler because the wholesaler doesn't have much in stock. At the moment, I source stuff from a few wholesalers in America, and I would say they'd be running on about 10% stock levels. So normally they'd be running at 99%, like they're generally fully stocked. At the moment, I'd say they're running on about 10% of stock they have in products they normally stock. They're probably on about 10% of it in stock at the moment. And that's going to follow through to retailers because they're going to not be able to source it from their wholesalers that they normally do. And if they all source it from the manufacturers, you're talking 6-month delays. So it's like, well, I'm going to order, True Bull release aids. I'm going to have them in 6 months. And that's a big issue. Now, I'm going to just talk about how you overcome this problem as well. So solutions, there are companies that don't have this delays. So instead of selling, let's say, True Bull, you don't have a True Bull release aid, then you start selling the Scott release aids, or you start selling the B3 release aids, or you start selling a different brand of release aid. Same with bows. There's some manufacturers are suffering massive delays at the moment. There's other companies which aren't. So instead of, if your shop is like committed to Matthews and Matthews has a 6-month delay, then maybe you look at a different bow manufacturer. Same with sites, like Spot Hog is like out at the moment. There's none. So it's like, okay, what sites that are made which are like Spot Hog? So you bring those in. QAD, massive delays, so we're then bringing in Ripcord. In fact, we're getting a shipment from QAD, but they told us the same story I'm telling you. There's been massive delays, and they're very sorry. There's shortages of materials and all the rest of it, and it's hard to get labour and massive demand. So if your shop doesn't have stuff and it's really hard to source, that's the gist of it. And the prediction is this is not going to get better anytime soon. This is going to be a continuous problem. But if it does, it will be like every shop will be flooded with archery gear. So I had a Carter shipment come in, a lot of release aids, and I went, oh wow, it's going to take me a year to sell these release aids, and my competitors got release aids at exactly the same day I got them. So waited for months, and we both got them at the same date, and I'm like, oh God, I'm never going to sell these release aids. Anyway, I did, I sold them, and now I've got no release aids, and I guess he's got no release aids too. So it's like we're both out of release aids, and Carter's, I don't know when they're going to ship more release aids, but I've got plenty on order. So it's like, yeah. So then you just sell a different product. But like with a specialized release aid like Carter, it's very, very hard to just substitute to another brand because True Bull's delayed. And there's not a lot of thumb release aids on the market, so it does create problems. But Carter do have some release aids in stock, but not the Wise Choice 3-finger, which is what everyone basically buys. Anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.